going on, guys? Just getting ready to head out for a short little hike. Gonna go over how to make a upside down fire in pretty decent winter conditions. So it's coming down pretty well. The storm just swept in off the mountain here and the wind is starting to kick up, so hopefully all this comes out on footage. But the goal is to try to show you how quick and easy you can just, with minimal tools, first make an upside down fire and then get it going, and hopefully we'll be able to pot a brew. Or hopefully we'll be able to brew a pot of coffee, or tea, but it's coffee in this case. All right, check in a minute. Wind's picking up. I don't know if you can see it behind me. It's getting a little thick. All right, I think this spot will do. Give us a little shelter. This big Doug fir here. And we'll just plant down near the stump and go get some wood. All right, I'm getting hot. Take this off. It's a problem with being a hairy Scotsman. Is you're hairy and you sweat a lot. All right, we're gonna use Silky Big Boy. And what else I got here? We'll take the Pocket Boy along as well. And then the Spark by More Knife. And if you're wondering how these shots are moving, I'm using the DJI 5 and it has that active tracker on there. So I don't know if you'll pick this up, but as I move, it's pretty decent on tracking me around here. As long as you don't move too fast. I believe there is a sport mode on it, but it's pretty handy for getting these kind of rotating shots. All right, there's a decent amount of fallen deadwood around here. Got a piece of aspen here. I think we'll pick it up on this camera over here. So that's what we're gonna start out with. Back behind me, there's a bunch of fallen pines, so we'll start taking off that too. What we want to do is just cut about, anywhere 10, 12-inch pieces. And if you're not aware, the Silky is a Japanese pull saw. They're amazing. I've used the Bako before. It just doesn't cut it. Yeah, this thing just cruises through wood. And what I mean by pull saw is that it only cuts on the back draw. As you cut this way, nothing happens. For me, that's more efficient because I like to muscle my way backwards. Also keeps you from bending the tips and breaking them. I've heard guys talk about breaking tips on these. Never happened. Used it in 0-degree weather multiple times. You just have to not get crazy with your cuts and get all over the place. Just focus your arms on that back and forth smooth motion. That wasn't good. Went down in the snow and I cannot see a thing. There we go. The joys of filming and cutting. All right, lay these big guys down. Then go to the medium size. Set them across that way. And you're basically just building a log cabin. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be precise. Just graduate those sizes up from big to small. Something like that. Got the dinky guys on top. And really, you saw the sizes that I was going up to sawing. I mean, a lot of that you could do without a saw. You just find a crotch of 2 trees, and you sit there and you reef on it and break it. You don't need to go any bigger than this, and all this stuff's just laying around dead. Work my way down to these kind of pencil size, marker, whatever. All right, wind's coming in really strong now. The snow's hitting pretty hard. Got some more juice in this camera, and I've got this poncho for my knees here, but let's get going because it's getting pretty nasty out here and my lenses aren't liking it. So I'm gonna use this guy. It's a Mora knife. I think it's called Mora Spark. It has a little flint and steel here in the handle, and we're gonna use the secret weapon to get this thing going. Now, this is a piece of Fatwood, very, very dense. You see that dark yellow? I'm gonna catch it on both cameras there. And this stuff is like magic. Doesn't matter how wet it is, you get a few little curls on this guy and he'll take off. So let's see if I can't get this going. Since it's iced over and covered with snow. We'll get a few of these curls and just kind of tuck them in around this kindling. As far as feather sticks go, you know, I don't think it has to be amazing. It's just, you just need air able to move through that. You just need gap and surface area. So we'll go ahead and tuck this guy kind of down in here. Get those curls visible. Get a few more pieces here. My gloves are already getting soaked through. That's fun. Get a few more pieces here. And then just break that off. Drop it in there. More of these curls. Sprinkle those in. This is the second one of these I've had. The one before I've used for, I think, like 10 years and still never used up this ferro rod. I think I maybe sharpened it once. It's stainless, so it's a little bit harder, but man, these things hold up and they're cheap. This was like 30 bucks. and keep from this blowing away in this wind. This big Doug fir gives me a little bit of shelter. Once you get this stuff splitting, it's not very hard at all. It just breaks off. You expose a lot more of that rich inner that way. You can really see it. Really dark amber color. Just using the back of the blade to get a little bit of curls and duff off this piece, just so it'll catch that ember, hopefully. There we go. Got the guy there. So this guy just breaks out with a twist like that. Yeah, and it's seriously small. I thought these things would never work, but it's actually way easier to control. Put these guys back on. I don't think there's a glove I've ever found that works good. I mean, these leather ones work good for big tasks, but you try to do these fine tasks, always stripping off gloves. All right, we're just gonna plant this down in here and hopefully I'm catching this on camera. Alright, I just put those guys out, so let's keep going. I guess this shows you real time without taking cuts in between. When your hands are cold and everything's wet, what it actually takes to get things going. And I'm kind of rushing things along here because I don't have much battery. So I'm not doing a really good setup. to baby this guy. This stuff is so wet. Ooh, don't do that. Pull the whole thing down. Jeez. A little bit of breeze is helping us just a little bit. Basically, I just want to be able to brew a pot of coffee and get some water going. But this should feed its way down. Just depends on how saturated that stuff got with all this wet snow coming down. Some more air going there. And I guess the whole point of the upside down fire is this heat. We'll have draw from underneath, it'll start to pull itself down, and it's just self-seeding fire. Can't even talk. Self-feeding fire, essentially. As long as you baby the top for a little bit, get it nice and hot. Like I said, it doesn't help when this stuff is just covered with ice and snow. And then I let it sit here for a little bit. So live and learn. Oh man, both of my cameras showing low battery here. So let's get this guy going. Just need enough for 1 cup of coffee. That'll do. Maybe we can just use this guy. Maybe. Ooh, that's hot. All right, now we wait. I'm gonna turn you guys off for a minute, save battery juice, and then I'll cut back once we have water. Oh man, wind just picked up really bad. It's getting seriously white out beyond these trees. You can see that fire just cooking now. It's doing its thing, burning down. This wind is definitely helping. It's drying down those top layers, and you can see how effective that whole upside down fire is. It's just cooking hard. Now to see if I can get out of here in time. As soon as I step out of the trees, it's pretty stinking hard to see. All right, I think we are boiling. Oh yeah, we're boiling massively. Whew. All right, set that over there. This guy. Get my coffee out here. You have no idea how bad I want this cup. This took a bit of work, but that's the reality. But it tastes so much better out in a snowstorm. All right, we have success. Upside down fire worked. Not too cold. Got my cup of coffee. All in all, I'd say that's not a bad afternoon. I'll watch this thing die out and get out of here before the snowstorm takes over the roads. Appreciate you guys watching.